Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Good morning. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Peace Kwizera, coming up on Rise and Shine.
Is your child a slow learner? We seek ways in which you can help him improve.
In business, we take a look at Carl Group Limited, IE's own company.
It's that day of the week, Thursday movie review and cult classic. Well, all that and more still to come, but first, let's get to meet the other hosts of the show. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Ivan.
We're in the midst of the week. It's a new month. Everything is ready. So what do you have for us in sports today?
Well, athletics and some basketball and soccer.
All right. Okay. Wait. Good morning, Chantal.
Good morning, Ivan.
All right. Have you started on the new resolutions for this month?
Not yet. For this week has been busy, but yeah, I'm on it.
All right. Rise and shine, please.
Good morning.
You ready for the show?
Yep.
All right. Let's get this going. But first, we bring you the hot topics and the trending stories. And now, starting off from in the local stories, we have the Imbarto Director General of the Institute of National Museum of Rwanda, Alfonso Umulisa, appeared before Nyarugenge Intermediate Court. Mr. Umulisa is actually accused of trying to give out different contracts without competitive bidding and, of course, abusing public funds. Umulisa, according to prosecution, is specifically accused of giving undue advantages during execution of this contract. So, we have been seeing very many court cases this week. First, there's a court case going on for Sonarwa, and now it's this one that has been going on for I would call him the boss of the museums in Rwanda, since he's in charge of all of them. I want you to give me a special aside from Stephen. What is if you've looked at this court case, and what do you expect to be going on, especially when the case goes on, as it goes on deeper?
Well,
it's something involving public funds here.
I haven't followed this case a lot, but knowing the National Museum, it's something that sells the country.
Yeah.
So the fact that they are trying to make sure that it is run perfectly and run well, and trying people who are trying to mismanage it, I think that's a good case. That's a good move.
Yes. For somebody who has been in leadership since 2010, would you say there are indeed certain dirty secrets behind his job? As for now, as you look at the court case, especially if you've read about what has been happening in court.
Yes, of course, there are some unturned stones and some dirty cases behind there. Being there for 6 years, that means he knew what he was doing. He has everything into his hands. He can influence the teams. I read earlier that he even influenced the procurement and logistics team to issue receipts and everything, that even when the money hasn't come in, as he was selling furniture and everything. So I think he should be dealt with, to be sincere, because museums are a historical part of Rwanda. We attach too much importance to them. All right.
Now, moving on to our other story, story 2. At least 15,000 water subscribers now, we are warning you, with outstanding bills have been warned of legal action as the Water and Sanitation Corporation Limited, WASAC, moves to recover more than 2 billion Rwandan francs owed to the utility. Last month, WASAC announced that it was warning legal action against those whose water bill was disconnected over 6 months ago and have neither paid nor approached the utility. Stand warned. Well, this is the same case. It's WASAC. What do you think people should really take precaution for, especially looking at this warning? They are recovering that 2 billion.
Will look out for themselves.
Okay.
I feel like we get so comfortable using water, especially sometimes it goes and then sometimes it comes back. And sometimes, with electricity, it just goes off immediately. But with water, it's not like cut off completely. So you can go months and months without paying, and then it just goes on. So now that they're going to claim the billions back, it's high time people look out for themselves and pay.
Yes. And perhaps for those people, honestly, stop stealing water, I think. You should also tell people.
There's a particular challenge. There are some parts of town that have limited water supply. So you find it's a challenge to okay, get your bill fixed. I mean, the water meter fixed again, because you won't have water. I mean, you have to rely on maybe your house helps to go and fetch water
Or
somewhere
even
else.
rainwater.
So that's a challenge also. I mean, there somebody wouldn't feel the need to pay.
Yeah. But do you think actually they don't need to pay because this is water and it's a very high recommended service?
Sorry,
and
I
it
made
takes a
the
lot.
point of they disconnect your meter and then you have to go to the offices and tell
Yeah.
them to reconnect you.
Yeah.
I mean, feeling the need to get your meter reconnected.
All right, now moving on to the region, but of course stand warned and get to know all this info. Now moving on to the region. Kenya's Interior Minister Joseph Kasairi has announced the world's largest refugee camp will close in November. The refugee camp in Kenya is home to more than 300,000 Somalis. Mr. Joseph said Kenya would work closely with the UN and the Somali government to repatriate the refugees. The BAB was set up in 1991 to house families fleeing conflict in Somalia and has been, some of the people have been living there for more than 20 years actually.
Yes, for more than a decade. So.
Now this is a very very catchy story. Number one, you have people that have been living on the land for 20 years. Perhaps if they were living in Rwanda, they should also be eligible for citizenship.
Actually, they are citizens by
They're
birth.
actually
Yes.
citizens
Yeah.
because
Yes.
I believe some of them were actually born there.
Of course, some
Most of them.
most of them.
actually.
Those who were born there, some even have kids. So you have 3 generations
Yeah.
living in the camp.
Exactly. And now that brings me to my point. You have 3 generations of people that you want to repatriate to a country that I still call a danger zone. Do we
war-torn area.
actually see that this decision is right? Looking at also the fact that Kenya puts its security first. Protecting its citizens is the #1 choice. And they
Yeah,
say some of the biggest terror attacks in Kenya have been organized in this same camp. Stephen.
Well, it's a challenge for Kenya. I mean, Kenya is not. Kenya is a rich country, but they are not among the richest in the region, on the continent. So some time back, President Kenyatta was complaining that the richest countries on the continent, they don't take their time to look after refugees. It's small countries that. So we have many people, 300,000 people in this camp, and yeah, it's hard to ignore. They bring a toll on the resources of the country.
So do you think it's the right solution to kind of take back? I would love to shift this question to.
I think
yes.
Kenya should be assisted to handle these refugees because it affects many people.
Yes.
Assisted.
Exactly my point. Kenya should be assisted by the concerned organizations. We have the UNHCR and more that can put in money, can bring foodstuffs, can bring tents, can bring medication, and give those people.
Well, Kenya's main reason in this case is not
security.
about the resources.
Yes.
It's the security of the people.
So-
Bit 50,000 Somalis were still, in terms of security, very sensitive about what is going to be
So
happening.
do you think Kenya is very sure that when they drive these refugees away, they'll have total peace? No.
They
They'll
could
still
reduce
be
the
in
risk.
security. They will still be in security. The refugees can be helped and the security can be tightened. These are issues that should be studied. I don't think taking them back to a war-torn area is of any help in any way. They'll still
Especially
come in
being-
because there's insecurity.
Especially being their immediate neighbors.
Yeah.
You look
Yes.
at the number of people you're sending out of the country. Instead, this is what we're talking about here on the show. Instead, you kind of make your laws a little bit more strict for the
Yes.
security and, get help, like you said, from different people
Alright.
if it's such a big problem.
Well, let's get to know what you think about the topic, and just go onto our platforms on Facebook and all the social media to let us know what you think about these same topics. Well, that's all we had for you in the trending stories. But of course, sitting next to me is the lady with the latest hot topics and those that are trending. Peace.
All right, so Ghana's Food and Drugs Authority plans have to ban the sale of cosmetic products containing hydroquinone.
Hydroquinone.
Quinone.
Quinone is-
Yeah,
no, I know
hydroquinone.
hydroquinone. Sorry about that. My bad.
Now, the skin bleaching ingredient is commonly known to act as a cancer-causing agent. And this is basically why they're banning it because, people bleaching their skin in Ghana is kind
Should
of
apply
now
that
like it's
same
now a
line,
no
yeah.
no.
Getting out of hand.
Right. So what comes in your minds when you see a topic like this?
Oh,
Well, I think this,
Ivan.
you have to let me talk on this one because bleaching has become really so bad over the years.
Yes.
I mean, it's high time all these girls and all these men need to appreciate that they're black, and you know, just like Sauti Sol says, is the blacker the berry, you know, the sweeter the juice. So, you know, Flavor says black is beautiful. Why not? I mean, for me, I think it's all about. This is a good step, but most importantly, I think it's not about bleaching that people, you know, buying these products. It's about the mindset. How do you appreciate yourself, you know? I think there needs to be, I think, an African global, a global campaign about appreciating, you know, your blackness and, you know, just like in the
those
US.
campaigns have been
Have
there,
come,
but,
especially with hair and
exactly.
different
Yeah.
things.
we need people to embrace who they
Embrace,
are. The
man.
Africans, actually.
This is
Are
an
kind
issue
of embraced.
among us Africans.
Yeah.
There is what they call colorism, where you find people with a lighter skin, people, i.e. not me, people who are darker.
Yeah.
So you find people who are dark, like me, you know, trying to do something to get
To
the
get,
favor and
Yeah.
peace, nothing personal. But
Well,
yeah, so we need to people who are in positions of influence.
Yeah.
They need to accept people who they are, because at the end of the day, when somebody bleaches, there's a person, there's a section they want to
Absolutely.
appeal to.
Yeah, and
So-
just that is a very strong point. For most people that are in a position of influence, they come into the limelight when they're still there themselves, you know, they still have this black skin. But over the years, some people revolve and they actually
for
turn to...
example, celebrities.
Yeah.
These are people
Celebrities.
everyone is looking up to.
Especially young
the
people.
girls.
Yeah.
Especially the girls, because, okay, few men bleach. I don't know, it's even
But in
funny.
the RC com is not the same case.
So basically,
Trust me.
the whole West African countries have this problem of not embracing their skin colors and
Yeah.
be black and proud. So I think we
Absolutely.
should work on this.
I think we should work on that, of course. Now we understand that these cosmetics will no longer be imported, you know, in the country by 2016.
Yeah.
So of course you can go ahead and tell us what you think on our Twitter page, and
Yeah.
we of course would love to hear from you. And it's high time we embrace the fact that we have, you know, melanin in our skin,
Yeah.
and, you know, go ahead and move on with our lives and proud to be black. Now, 40 tiger cubs' body have been found in a freezer at a Thai Buddhist temple, accused of wildlife trafficking and animal abuse. Police and wildlife officials started an operation on Monday to remove all the living tigers at the Tiger Temple. Pictures from journalists at the scene posted to social media showed 40 cubs lined up on the floor. The site was in one of the places in Thailand. And, you know, what comes to your head when you hear such a topic?
Well, following up Thailand, the major culprits, okay, allegedly, when it comes to the smuggling of wildlife, I mean, even importing of the ivory. So they've been blacklisted by international authorities for those cases. So the fact that this comes up means maybe they need to do a lot to stop this, the wildlife trafficking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thailand has not only been known for wildlife, like I said, trafficking, like I said, but even human trafficking. This is where they take people and lie to them. They have jobs for them and everything, and they end up killing them and selling their organs for money. So this is how bad it is in Thailand. People don't have actually real jobs to earn their money, so they will kill people and sell their organs for money. So for the animals, of course, we know the animals, their skins and their hides and everything, the ivory. So I think Thailand should work on their economic reforms to stop all this, because this is what people do when they don't have jobs and they need money and to survive.
Yeah. For me, I think the number one thing we need to look at is the fact Thailand and all these Asian countries need to, just like we don't have tigers in Africa, right? And this is an endangered species. And for me, like, this kind of news kind of it takes
Sad.
me back, and it's a very sad story because people actually not taking advantage. We've seen Kenya take advantage and fight those that are dealing with ivory.
Ivory, yes.
Same case needs to happen, but this is very sad. They even came from a Buddhist temple, which is a very significant place in Thailand. Is religious belief.
Of course, one of the wildlife conservation people said that it might be one of, it might be of some kind of importance to them, but he does not even understand why, because they have refused to, say
Like
why
a
exactly
ritual
they
or
were.
something because it was in the temple. I
Yes.
don't get it.
All right, so there you had it. So of course, you can still go and let us know what you think about this hot topic. And of course, that's all we had for you for Hot Topics today. We'll be right back with the story of the day.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Wonder Story of the Day with me, Ivan Magwene. Now, it is a heartbreaking experience for a student to be in class day after day but fail to keep up with what the teacher is teaching, especially not because they haven't been making an effort to cope, but simply because their mind works that way. This does not only affect the affected students alone, but the teachers and parents as well. So today we shift our discussion on how both teachers and parents can help this kind of student improve his results. And joining us to discuss on this same issue is Jesh Arnold, an educator. Jesh, welcome to the studios.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Right. Well, in a context, I would say that personally, I was able to sit down in a class and be able to cope up with all these different students and see how much struggle you have to go through sometimes as a slow learner to cope up and learn with the teacher. Not because you're not smart or what, but just because you have that natural inability to cope up very fast with all the others.
Yep.
In your own way, as an experienced educator, as a trainer of different students, how are you able to tell the different behaviors and the different IQ capacities of these students, especially in a class that is very competitive and where a lot of activities are going on?
It's quite a very challenging question you're asking me because there are so many aspects or there are so many factors that contribute to you knowing the student or getting to know that this person's learning abilities on this level and their learning abilities different from the other. But I would say in general is that how you as a teacher or as a trainer, how are you open to the students, for them to let you into their world, also to let them to let you know how good or on what levels they are. You asked about as a teacher. I would say on the side of a teacher is that it's all about breaking down that wall between you and the student. How do you break out, how do you open, or how do you welcome them, how do you communicate with them? Because at the end of the day, students are very vulnerable, but they will let you in and they will show you how their learning abilities are. Who is a fast student, who is a slow student, And when we say slow, we don't mean dumb. Because there are students you will find that as you're training at the blackboard, they will get it. And even they will not need even to read notes after that. And then there are students you will find that they need that extra touch. They are going to go back and forth about a certain topic for them to understand it. So it doesn't mean that being a slow student, you're dumb. It doesn't mean being a fast student that you're the cleverest. No, it's just that how do you perceive things and on what level and what chances have you been given?
Yes, exactly. On that same issue, I'd love to know what are some of the techniques or some of the methods you can actually use to help such kind of a learner improve in terms of their results, the kind of results. Because at the end of the day, they're so hardworking, but at the end of the day, their hard work is not equal to their success and their results. So what are some of the methods you think could be applied to help that kind of student?
There are a variety of methods depending on an individual. But I say for my sake, it's I try to be friendly with the students. And when I say friendly, I don't mean that they are my colleagues, no. But I try to open up, show them that they can talk to me, and I can listen to them. And when you give a student or when you give a young kid a listening ear, trust me, so many are out there looking for people to listen to them because they want to feel like their voice matters and what they think or what they say matters. So if you listen to them, a student will be open to you and they will tell you, will be like, by the way, when you are at the blackboard teaching, I feel shy to ask where I can't. Where I don't understand. Then you get to know, you're like, okay, this person, I'll have an extra time, I will have a few minutes, maybe after class, and talk to them and ask them. Then another one will tell you, will be like, teacher, me, for sure, when you're talking, you're very fast on the blackboard. I need you to slow down. You're like, okay, I'll slow down. And keep on asking questions.
Yeah.
So it depends, it varies. But I would say the most important is between a student and a teacher, there shouldn't be a wall.
Yeah.
Teachers should try to break down the wall
Yes.
between them.
Now, looking at our African tradition, and especially for those that were growing up, especially in our education eras back early days, it has changed over time because of different laws and beating a child because they're not performing well in school. You know, this is a very sensitive topic because some of these students actually, they're really hardworking, but at the end of the day, the parents, of course, judges them by the results they bring back at home.
Yeah.
And some of these parents become angry over them and they highly punish them. What is the role of a parent on a student like this one?
You see, the society we are living in has tended to leave all the work to the teacher. You know, so when you say what's the role of the parent, it brings us back to how you're bringing up your child, even before you think of handing them to a teacher or handing them to school.
Yeah.
I think parents should know that they are the first teachers of their kids because you spend so much time, and this kid has paternal love. So meaning he listens to you before even the teacher. So you blaming them, judging them according to the results from school is unfair because they are even performing the way they are performing because of what they get from home, because bringing up how we are brought up. So I would say parents need to take the leading role in raising their kids other than just passing them to school. You know, I know they spend a lot of time at school, but the funny part of it, the little time they spend at home is a lot, and it is very impactful to their life.
All right, there you had it. Jesh, thank you so much for joining us. Some conversation.
I'm so glad for having been on such a show.
Yeah.
I've heard so much about it and I've been watching it.
All right, now, of course, there we have a very big fan, and we hope you can join the conversation and move on to our platforms like Twitter and Facebook and let us know what you think about this topic. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. Shantari Uwera will be up next with business.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwandair and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back. It's now time for your business stories with me, Chantal Uwera. The National Agricultural Exports Board has donated 5 trucks worth 160 million Rwandan francs to boost productivity in the tea cooperatives. Issa Nkurunziza, the tea division manager in NAEB, said the support is also part of the strategy to help address identified logistical gaps resulting from lack of transport for farmers to deliver tea to the factories. French oil giant Total to finalize takeover of GAPCO in months. The transaction, which is believed to be in the region of 40 billion Kenyan shillings, will mark the exit of the Indian tycoon Mukesh Ambani, the owner of Reliance, from the local petroleum market. Nigeria's President Buhari will visit the Niger Delta region that was rocked by attacks on oil and gas facilities. This visit was announced as the Niger Delta Avengers militant group, which has claimed a string of recent attacks issued a warning to oil farms in the southern region. The president said that the government would hold talks with the leaders in Nigeria's main oil-producing region in a bid to stop a surge in pipeline attacks. As we all know, Rwanda has been encouraging young entrepreneurs to put their skills to use in order to develop themselves and the societies in which they live. Carl Group Limited is a youth-owned company that adds value to sweet potatoes by making vitamin A products from the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes. We visited them in Gikondo, and here's what we gathered for you. Hi, and welcome to Carl Group Limited. This is a youth-owned company. It's composed of 3 ladies and a gentleman, and they specialize in producing products from sweet potatoes, sweet orange-fleshed potatoes, known as VIT-A products, vitamin A products. They make a lot of things such as bread, donuts, and many more. So we visited them so that they could show us what they have for us and how they do it. They will take us step by step. Please join me. Muraho mwatubwira amazina yanyu.
Murakoze, banyita Uwihoreye Idrissa. Aba nkorana na Carl Group. Yego. Ahangaha nyine mu Dusanze.
Okay. Turashaka udusobanurire uhereye ku kijumba mbona hano imbere yanjye, udusobanurire muri make uko mugera ku cyanyuma muba mwakoze ku musaruro wa nyuma.
Murakoze cyane. Murabona iki kijumba nubwo kireba gutya kira hasi. Kiba ari ikijumba kivuye mu butaka. Tukagihata. Tukagitunganya bisanzwe nka gutyo tukakironga. Iyo tumaze kukironga turabitogosa. Twamara kubitogosa kano kamashini kintu kadufasha kubyohereza amaha kakabihindura inombe.
Okay, mukabinomba.
Ino mashini nyine wabonye nkuko kwereka idufasha kubikoroga ariko bitogosheje none ikabihindura inombe.
Mukoresha ibijumba byari byo byose se cyangwa?
Dukoresha buno bwoko wabonye bwa orange.
Bwa orange.
Okay. Noneho iyo tumaze kubihindura inombe dufata 60% y'ibijumba. Icyo dukoresha n'uburyohe bw'ikijumba. Dufata 60 y'ibijumba tugafata na 40 y'ifarini. Noneho ya farini dufasha gutuma cya kijumba kidahinduka ifiriti ahubwo kibasha kubyara irindazi, kikabyara umugati, kikabyara cake, tukavanamo amagato. Ni byinshi, dufite amadonuts, dufite amabiswi, nkuko babaze kugenda gutembereza mu bindi byumba akagenda bisangayo.
Okay. Ubu ibi turimo ni kuruhe rwego, ni stage ya mbere bimaze gutekwa imashini kabinomba.
Urakoze. Ubu ibinkwetse nyine biracyari bibisi, ibyatetswe namaze bikoresha n'imashini. Ndangije mbivanga ya pourcentage nakubwiye nyine 60/40 ndavanga na ya farini.
Okay. Noneho iyo bivuye aha bijya.
Iyo bivuye aha nyine niho ndi bukwereke. Njyana hariya nkatunganya nkakatamo amandazi. Ni muri urwo rwego iyo tumaze gukata nkuko wabibonye twamaze gufata design iyo ari yose ushaka, cyane cyane nk'ingi ureba usanze hano y'ibijumba. Turayifata tugateka, twamara guteka bikabasha kubyara amandazi ameze gutya.
Nkuko mwabibonye rero, iyo amandazi yacu cyangwa amakeke, imigati bimaze gutunganywa neza mu gikoni, tubizana hano. Aha niho tubipakegingira tukabishyira mu mashashi agiye atandukanye, aho mubona dufite amashashi agiye atandukanye, hari ay'amandazi ariho na etikete yacu, aho mubona produit yacu koko yitwa Vita product, Vita donuts, Vita crisps, Vita cakes, Vita bread. Ahangaha rero niho tukomeza kubitunganyiriza kugira ngo bibe byajya ku isoko.
Well, there you've seen it all. Whatever they had to do, I hope you've been following. And for the young entrepreneurs out there, please pick a leaf from Carl Group Limited to produce your own. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm Wera Chantal, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Well, that's really interesting, Chantal, especially for people who make, products out of sweet potatoes. This is something that we haven't seen on the market before. Now tell us, what are the kind of things that they make from sweet potatoes, the kind of products that they make?
Well, they make the usual things that we love to eat. We have the donuts, we have biscuits, we have cakes, either small ones or even bigger birthday cakes.
Yeah.
All that we love to eat and the kids love.
How good are they? I believe you tasted at least a bit of it. How good are they? Or what sets them apart from the usual stuff that we see on the market, like sweet potato crisps, stuff like that? What sets them apart from
Well,
these
they're
other
really
things?
good in terms of health. They are vitamin A products because of the orange fleshed sweet potatoes,
Wow.
which are actually not so common. They are rare. So they get them from, is it Muhanga? And they bring them, so they're healthy. And the sugar is from the sweet potatoes themselves. There's nothing
sugar
added. So 60% of the cake is the sweet potato and 40% is the usual flour, the baking flour they use. So that's a balance. They're actually healthy.
Wow. That's really something. I mean, this is not something that we have seen on the market before. I just want to know, I haven't seen them in stores before. Do they either deliver them, or where can we find them on the market?
They actually deliver them, but because they have just begun, it's so hard to find them everywhere. But they deliver to supermarkets, small shops, even canteens in schools, because kids love these things.
Yeah, so where can we find them exactly, just in case?
Okay, because they operate in Gikondo, you find them in every part of Gikondo,
Every part of
Chitrichiro, and they are getting even in town. So they are called Vita products, vitamin A products. So they call it Vita products from Cal Group Limited. They are awesome.
Wow, thank you, Chantal, for those wonderful details.
You're welcome.
All right, there you had it from Chantal with business. We'll be right back with sports with Stephen Kalimba.
Welcome back. It's now time for sports with me, Stephen Kalimba. Paralympian Muvunyi intensifies preparations ahead of the Berlin Open Grand Prix. Hamas Cliff Muvunyi said these sessions were going on positively, and he plans to use the Grand Prix, which takes place from July 16th to 17th, to gauge his level of skill and see what he needs to polish on. Last year, the 29-year-old also qualified for the 2016 Rio Paralympics Games, both in the 400-meter and 1,500-meter categories. He added, however, he would consider retiring, after competing. Espoir eyeing top prize in Gisembe Memorial Basketball Tournament. The defending champions kicked off their campaign with a 78-61 win over IPRC Kigali last weekend. Coach Jean Bahufite said the team were training hard, and despite losing the league to Patriots, Gisembe were within reach of the tournament. He added the four-time league winners will next face the under-18 Rwanda team in their pool, who lost 16-55 to IPRC Kigali on Saturday. And elsewhere, Lionel Messi to appear in court over tax fraud in Spain. The Barcelona superstar will go to court on Thursday to answer to charges of tax evasion. The Spanish government accuses the player and his father, Jorge Horacio Messi, of defrauding the government of more than $4.5 million between 2009 and 2007. Prosecution alleges that revenue was hidden using anonymous shell companies in Europe and South America. The case will see Messi miss preparations for Saturday's Copa America for Argentina. There you had it in sports. Peace Quizera is up next with Lifestyle.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwandair and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. It's time for Lifestyle with me, Peace Quizera. For Cult Classic, today we'll look at the movie called The Notebook. Now, the Notebook cuts between the same couple at 2 seasons in their lives. We see them in urgency of young romance, and then we see them as old people, especially because the girl disappears into Alzheimer's, which is kind of forgetting the story of their love. But first, let's take a look at the trailer of this movie.
It was a magical summer. Noah was a country boy. Allie was from the city. They met the night of the carnival. They had nothing in common, but after seeing Allie that night, something inside Noah snapped.
Will you go out with me?
No!
No? Damn, my hand's slipping.
Okay, fine. I'll go out with you.
No, don't do me any favors.
No, I want to.
Say it again.
I want to go out with you!
All right, we'll go out.
They fell in love, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
You want to dance with me?
Sure. This is a good story. I think I've heard it before.
It's like a dream.
So what do you do, Noah? I work at the lumber yard. How much do you make at your job? 40 cents an hour?
It has got to stop.
Noah?
He's a nice boy, but he is not for you.
I don't see how it's gonna work.
You are not to see him anymore, and that's final.
From the best-selling novel by Nicholas Sparks
Oh, miss. How's about that date?
comes a story
It's normal not to forget your first love, but I want you for myself. Marry me.
about what we long for,
I saw your picture in the paper, and I just wanted to see if you were okay.
what we settle for,
I have a fiance waiting for me.
What happened? Who did you choose?
and who we're meant for.
Why didn't you write me? I waited for you for 7 years.
I wrote you every day for a year.
New Line Cinema presents Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, James Garner, Jenna Rollins, James Marsden with Sam Shepard and Joan Allen in a Nick Cassavetes film.
I read to her, and she remembers.
The Notebook.
There you saw the trailer of the movie The Notebook. Now let's start it off with Chantal. Chantal, we've seen this movie. It's the movie for all kinds of people, men, women, young girls, young boys, you know, old people and young people. Tell us about, you know, your experience watching this movie.
Well, my experience wasn't that good because it ended in a sad way for me. I wouldn't imagine them dying. I wanted them to live and
But
enjoy
they
their
were
life.
old.
Yes, they were old.
They were
but
old. I think they had seen all kinds of, you know, they have reached
Everything.
all goals of being in love, I think, at
well,
least for them.
For me, I wouldn't imagine them dying.
You
I
want
wanted
happily
them,
ever after.
exactly. That's
Forever
the happily
and
ever
ever
after
and
I
ever.
wanted.
All right, there you had it, a list from Chantal. Now, Ivan, tell us a bit of, you know, the outside part of the movie.
Yeah,
You know.
well, I mean, when I watched the movie, it reminds me, there's even a new movie, almost the same story, but this one is about life sacrifices, where girls sacrifices. But this is a movie that is one of the biggest romantic drama films on the American box office box. And of course made a lot of money, and it's one of those drama films that scooped a lot of awards back in 2014. I mean 2004 when it came out, from a Golden Globe to, you know, Teen Choice Awards to MTV Awards. And to make even things better, I remember this in this same movie, that's where the best MTV Kiss Award came from. So for some people, I mean, this is a very romantic movie. Again, sad story. It reminds me of the Titanic, but again, this is something that you all
There's
have to
one
enjoy.
memorable line when the lady asks the man, "Will you be able to make me remember every time?" Then the man says, with love, anything is possible.
Yeah.
That stood out for me.
Sweet. Of course, there you had it from everyone on this team, but it's a movie. It's the kind of movie that you want to watch. Even Knowles got proposed to that movie this week, so it's the kind of movie you want to go back and watch and maybe get back in touch with.
Do you know actually the guy that was supposed to, the guy that is acting as Robin, he was supposed to be Tom Cruise instead of that person.
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. That was supposed to be Tom Cruise. Unfortunately,
it didn't happen. But of course, Ryan did a good job still, but an amazing job. And of course, please go out there and watch it and make sure you get yourself a copy, get your family, get all your friends and sit down and watch the movie. Now for movie review today, we look at Ice Age 5, The Collision Course. Where Scrat's epic pursuit of his elusive acorn catapults him outside of Earth, where he accidentally sets off a series of cosmic events that transform him and threaten the planet. Now we see fun in this movie. I can tell you for sure. We see fun, but of course let's first take a look at the trailer so that you at least have a hint.
Velocity 2,900 feet per second.
From 20th Century Fox and Blue Sky Studios.
Hey, look, shooting stars!
Quick, make a wish! You gotta make a wish! Huh.
Wow, my wish came true.
I'm okay!
Mine too. The defining chapter.
Meteor shower! Meteor shower?
In the greatest trilogy.
The mother of all asteroids screaming towards us. But I've got a plan. Who's with me?
Crash and Eddie reporting for duty. Duty.
Of all time.
All I wanted is true love. Everybody has somebody. And all I've got is my boyish good looks in this mariachi band.
This summer. The end of the Ice Age.
Incoming!
Get inside the cave!
Is just the beginning.
Hey, it sounds like it's slowing down. Except for that one.
Of a new age.
Where are we?
Here he is, the master of meditation, the supreme serene, the Shangri-Lama!
This is the guy who's gonna save us.
Yes, but first...
Downward dog! Caterpillar! Funky chicken, bouncing Betty, mashed potato!
Hey, this is kind of easy. Could you help me, please? My nose is dangerously close to my butt.
Ice Age Collision Course.
All right. There you had it, at least for a glimpse of what's going to happen in the fifth, Ice Age. Now, starting off with Chantal, what, comes to your mind? You've seen at least a few of the Ice Ages, in the past. Who are your favorite characters? Especially?
Well, my favorite is Sid. Sid is so funny and little, and he's a trouble causer with the nut. I just don't understand Sid.
No one understands Sid, of course. Stephen?
Well, I like Sid in this movie, and I like him in his other roles playing as a human being. He's a very funny guy.
He's a very funny guy. Now, Ivan, briefly tell us, the wrap-up of this whole movie. What comes to your mind when, the expectations that everyone at home should, expect from this, upcoming movie?
Hollywood is waiting, of course. I mean, the Ice Ages have been some of the movies that have been able to make, animation movies that have been able to spark up the box office in the USA. with almost like 772 million US dollars in terms of gross profits.
Yes.
So this is something that people always look up to and always go and buy out. So there's going to be new characters joining the new one, and we can't wait to hear some of the voices behind the new Ice Age. Yes.
Of course, we
so
see Queen
we see there's
Latifah.
Nicki Minaj as the elephant, the female elephant, but now we have Queen Latifah on board, so we might see a lot of a little bit of those words. Which,
we see fun. We see definitely see fun in this movie, and of course it's coming out on July 22nd.
Yeah.
And look out for the movie, and please grab everyone and go to the cinema and look at it yourselves, because it's one thing that you definitely do not want to miss. Now, sadly, that is all we had for you for today's show. But of course, do not forget, we'll love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what you're talking about here in Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW, like us on our Facebook page, and send us your ideas for the program. Check out our Rise and Shine YouTube page, and please subscribe. That's where you can catch all the shows and the reports that we do. Find us on Instagram, and remember, we love to see your pics. Last but not least, do check out our website and see every single thing that we do here at Rise and Shine Rwanda, from back, stage, from behind the scenes, and here on the show, and even the different stories that we cover on Rise and Shine. Of course, I am Peace Kwizera.
And I am Ivan Magwene. We'll be at same time, same place. But before we wrap up, I would love to ask a few of... so what was the most enjoying part of which part did you enjoy the most on the show?
It must be Ice Age. I mean, dragons and
I knew, because it was movie review.
The movie review is always the best part of this.
Of Thursdays.
There you had it. Of course, go there and watch The Notebook and just keep waiting for the Ice Age. I'm Ivan Magwena said, but we'll be at same time, same place tomorrow. Do join us then, but for now, it's goodbye.
Bye.